by Nature, where we talk about it because we live it and we understand it because we've been there before. I'm the host, Money Matt, the scholar, D. Lamar.
Peace, peace, peace.
We miss you, my brother, Tyson Porter, the genius. God bless.
Yes.
Very, very, very special guest in the place. We have U.S. Senate candidate, Miss LaShondra Tinsley in the building.
Hello, everybody. Hi, how y'all doing?
Yeah.
Happy to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome.
Thank
Our future
you.
senator.
That's
Yeah,
right.
okay.
That's right.
So,
It's hard work getting here, so thank you.
man, thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
Absolutely. It's an honor to be here. It's a pleasure to be here. I love this setup.
Oh, thank
Yes, this is nice.
We're humbled by that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, we try to definitely shine a light on anyone who is doing something very positive in our community. Mm-hmm. And you are a prime example of that. So that's an honor to be on our show.
Oh, okay.
So thank you so much.
I'm so happy to have you. Man.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Got nervous energy right here. Okay. So, man, let's get right into it. Just give us a little bit of a history and how'd you get to this point right here, and then we'll dive into where we're going next.
Okay, well, absolutely. So I think it was about 2017, Philando Castile, murdered by the police.
Yes.
At that time, it just seemed like a black murder after murder from the police, though.
Okay.
And then they were continuously getting away with it. And the final straw for me was Philando Castile. He was the young man in Minneapolis who was in the car with his daughter and his wife, his girlfriend and her daughter. I say his daughter too.
Right.
And the police officer asked him for his license. I think he had a tail light out. Asked him for his license. He went to get it. And when he was getting, he said, "Hey, by the way, I have a firearm on me. I have a license to carry." So the officer just went into a complete panic. "Don't reach for it. Don't reach for it." And Philando's like, "I'm not going to reach for it. I'm not going to reach for it." And the officer's like, "Don't reach for it." And then next thing you know, pow, 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 7 times. 5 other shots in front of his girlfriend and his daughter.
We actually covered that on our show.
Did you really?
Yes, we did.
So and the thing that sprung me into action was when you can clearly see that it was murder. Clearly. And the officer was acquitted of all. I mean, I don't even think he went to court for it. He didn't even get charged.
Right.
And so that was it for me. That was the last straw. I, was tired of complaining, and it just came in my spirit, run for office so you can change some policy and legislation. Oh. At that time, I'm like, what office? Senate came in my. I don't know why these thoughts came in. I now know that it was my higher power. I call him God. You may call him Allah. Some people call him universe, spirit. But I didn't even know that I qualified to run. I didn't know what it took to run. I didn't know that there's senators at the state level and the national level. So in pursuing this dream that I have, or this vision, or this calling,
Okay.
I've learned a lot in the process.
Okay.
So that was the tipping point for you, was seeing the injustice that we've seen far too many times, which we talk about on this show, happen to our people at the hands of police corruption and injustice.
I mean, I believe this show is based on.
Yeah.
It started from that.
Yeah, we got our roots kind of based in that too. Summer protest, of course, which also spawned Conscious by Nature and a lot of ideals based from that. But it's good to hear someone with so much passion.
Oh, yeah.
So you here for us?
Yes, I am. I'm tired.
Okay,
you hear me?
Okay.
I am so tired. I'm so tired. And I was tired of complaining, and so I decided to become the change I want to see.
That's it.
Period. We have so many people that we have counted on and trusted and believed in to help change the trajectory of the Black community.
Okay.
Let's just take it there, and have been let down time after time after time. And I'm fed up. I'm sick of it.
So what makes you different?
That is what makes me different. I am for the people because I am the people. I come from marginalized communities. I come from the struggle. I grew up in foster care. And
tell me a little bit about that.
Well, my mom struggled with the disease of addiction. And as we know, now since I'm older, we know that the CIA brought crack cocaine into the Black communities. So this was something that was intentional. It devastated a lot of our communities, including my family. Before my mom became overcome with this disease, she was going to school to become an RN. Our home, we had a beautiful home. She was a great mother. And then all of a sudden the disease overcame her. And I went into foster care about 12 years old. And we went back home once. She stayed clean for about 2 years, and then she relapsed. And she struggles till this day. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I think that it was hard. It was hard back then. But I'm starting to think that those lived experiences is what set me up to become what I'm becoming now. So now I have those actual lived experiences, which my opponents don't have.
Oh, I like it.
So, to understand how to create effective policy and legislation that's going to get us over the top of the hill, not just up there sitting or halfway there. So I don't even think we've gotten to the top yet.
We ain't halfway there.
Right. So I think that they are completely oblivious to our needs.
So you're running for U.S. Senate, right? What are some of LaShondra Tinsley's policies that, if I'm a prospective voter, what are her policies that I can look at and see if they have something to do with my background or my views? What are her policies?
Well, the first thing off the rip is no new taxes for the working and middle class. That encompasses everyone. And the reason why is because the weight of America is carried on the shoulders of the working and middle class. The 1%ers, they don't have to pay anything pretty much, right? And then you have the ones who come from marginalized communities, right? Such as myself at one time. We would get income tax refund checks. So essentially, we didn't have to pay taxes because we couldn't afford to pay them. And then the 1%ers who could afford to pay them wiggled their way out of paying them, right? And so what I've learned in this game is, since transitioning from a Democrat to an independent, I'm able to talk to both sides. And believe it or not all Republicans are racist. Blew my mind when I discovered that. Their main thing is, of course, they're pro-life. They don't want anybody to have an abortion, but they don't like nobody messing with their money. But the reason why is because the bulk of the taxes come from them. And to be honest, it's really not fair. You guys are working men, so I know when you see your check, you kind of upset how much Uncle Sam done took. Then you got your health care costs, and then if you got 401k and different, it's a lot of your check being taken away. Okay. And so I am advocating for that working and middle class. It's enough. Yeah, the corporation who makes billions and billions in profit, okay, can give $1 billion up to contribute to our society, and let's elevate the marginalized communities. Again, I received government assistance at one time. And the way that the system is set up is like a cycle. You can never become self-sufficient. Just by the grace of God that I became self-sufficient. And if you are from marginalized communities, we are really a prideful people. A lot of us don't want to continue to have government assistance. A lot of us want to become, let me tell you a story. I was a case manager for Franklin County, a child care department, and a young lady came in. She started off the year probably about $10 an hour. Somehow she got her promotion, a raise, increased her pay to about $18. Of course you're happy, you're excited. She comes in to get her child care redetermined, and her copay increased so much so that it took her entire pay raise away. Didn't even take into account her rent, her car payment, her insurance, or any of that. And she just started, when I say bawling, crying, bawling, she said, y'all don't want nobody to become self-sufficient. Y'all want people to stay on this program. And it just hurt me so bad. I said, ma'am, I said, I know exactly how you feel because the same thing happened to me. I said, there's nothing that I can do in this moment, but I am running, because this was back in 2018, I believe.
Okay.
I said, I am running for office. And when I win my seat, this is going to be one of the issues that I tackle. So that shows that people that comes from marginalized communities do want to change. They do want to become self-sufficient. They want to become tax-paying citizens. They just need the opportunity.
Yeah, you said mouthful right there, my sister. But that's a powerful story.
That is. That's a true story too.
No doubt.
It is.
Okay.
It was heartbreaking, and
do we know what happened to this young lady? How did we work
I
that
don't know.
out?
I couldn't. It's confidentiality. I couldn't keep in contact with her. She was my client, so I couldn't stay in touch with her. But I gave her my word, and I'm hoping that one day she'll see me, and when I'm able to change that, I hope she'll remember that I kept my word.
Child care. Mm-hmm. So you believe that if you were to be voted in office, that you could get free child care, possibly? Is that one of your views?
Let me tell you this. We are the wealthiest country in the world. There are so many undeveloped, we can start at undeveloped countries, but more so countries that offer free child care, free health care, free education to their citizens. If they can do it, and they are not even anywhere near the level of success that America is, of wealth that America is, then of course we can do it.
I would counter that and say the reason why we are at the level of wealth is because we charge for everything.
Well,
like we don't give anything away.
Right.
We charge for everything. Our education. You know what I mean? Anything you can think of, you can sell it here in America.
Why don't you think, since we're so wealthy and all these other underdeveloped countries have these things, why don't we have that?
I think it's greed. I think it's corruption throughout the government. And I just think it needs to be addressed. I really do. I think we need to weed corruption out of the government, out of the justice system, and out of the police departments. Well, I guess that is justice system. Yeah. And I think that once we get that figured out and straightened up, which we can. I know it seems impossible, but there are a lot of good people out here. They're just afraid to stand up or haven't had anyone give them a call and say, okay, hey, you guys, they are destroying our nation. They are destroying our world. If we keep letting them do this, what's going to happen? They're going to cause a catastrophe. So at one point or another, we have to stand up.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
And I am willing to be the one to make that call. Oh yeah,
I want you to make that call. We need you to make that call.
I just need y'all to have my back when I do it. I need y'all not to play about me. Don't play about LaShondra Tinsley, okay? Just keep me and I keep y'all. Okay. That's all I ask.
So, I heard you say earlier that you were a Democrat. Mm-hmm. What made you leave the Democratic affiliation and become an independent candidate?
If I can be honest and transparent.
Please do. That's what we're looking for. Please do.
Well, I was sabotaged. I've been sabotaged quite a bit by the Democratic Party, and not just the party, the Black Democrats. Democrats that I have canvassed for, Democrats that I have given money to, Democrats that I have stood out in the rain and sleet for, Democrats that I have knocked hundreds of doors for. Let me say this. We as Black people traditionally are loyal to the Democratic Party without even, to a fault. We will vote Democrat up and down the ballot without even knowing who the candidate is. I was true to that. I believed in the Democrats with all of my heart. I really thought that the Republicans were racist, and I thought that Democrats were for Black people. But once I got in the game, everybody's like, you getting into politics? That's a dirty game. Are you sure you want it? Because everybody knows my personality, the type of person,
Right.
who I am, my spirit. And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing what God told me to do. He got me, And then to see so much disappointment, let down, backstabbing, betrayal. People acting like they're my friends, coming in just to find out information and take it back so that they can sabotage me. I'm a write-in because I was sabotaged for making a ballot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Tell it.
That's why people who wanted to be my campaign managers or started out being my campaign manager, somehow they got to them, and then next thing you know, everything's shifted. They backed out. Consultants, financial advisors.
And you know what? That's the thing why many people stay away from politics, because they feel like there's no honest people there.
Yeah.
If somebody can line your pockets with a little bit of money, you'll do anything. And that is the stereotype. And you're talking about it.
It's true. I don't know what these people who initially were helping me then all of a sudden backed out, started acting funny, or disappeared. I'll be honest. I hired a PR person, Sonny Martin. He has an outstanding reputation. He's a multimillionaire. Hired him. This hasn't even been 30 days. In the beginning of October, because like I said, I've been finagled so much by the party. I'm thinking I finally found somebody. He's telling me that he can get me out to different press releases. I mean, media and all of that. I paid him. Not all. I thank God he didn't take all the money. All he asked for was a down payment. Right. And told me from the kindness of his heart he would, finish the job. I think I heard from him after we released a press release maybe 3 times. I haven't heard from him since. Oh. As you can see, no press, no media, no anything.
Wow.
So that is an example of, the betrayal, the sabotage, the backstabbing, the deceit, that I have experienced.
How long you been in politics? Just 5 years now.
Yeah,
huh?
just 5 years. 5 years. And now. I started off boots on the ground in different political trainings. And, just helping people. Just, putting in that work, put my work in, paying my dues, Didn't have a problem with it, still don't.
So you really not a politician. You just a person out here trying to get a seat.
A public servant, I guess you would call me.
Okay.
A public servant,
I like that.
I'm here to take care of my community, period.
Yeah.
Okay.
Period. Okay. And everybody that's experiencing any type of injustice.
Of course.
From the government, from the justice system, education system, healthcare system. Yeah.
When I was reading your policies before we got on, I did my homework, because I got to get on here with the senator. We got to be right on conscious by nature.
Hey, I wouldn't be conscious.
Yeah, I wouldn't be conscious at all. That's unconscious. But a lot of your views, like you said, free healthcare, free college. You know what I mean? Like raising minimum wage or making sure that it gets up near inflation. A living wage.
Mm-hmm. This is common sense, right?
Right.
But these
policies
seem to be progressive.
Okay.
Now you say you're a non-traditional candidate. Mm-hmm. Are you a progressive?
You know what? I don't want to label myself, to be honest. I just want to do the right thing. Other people can call it progressive. They can say right. I don't know what their terminology is. All I know is what's right.
That's it.
And what's right is free college. Like I said, if there are other developed countries that can do it, we can do it and do it better. Right. Free healthcare. If there's other developed, because healthcare is a human right. Come on, you should not have to be rich or wealthy to be able to pay to go to the hospital or just to pay for preventative care or any type of surgeries you need. You shouldn't have to be wealthy to pay for quality healthcare. Period. So these are issues that are common sense. I think people put labels on it just to make it sound really bad to their community, to get their community to be on their side and to endorse them. But when you really think about it, it's really common sense. These are just simple things that that should already be in place.
Already be in place.
Right.
But we got somebody gonna do the right thing.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
What else we got?
So What do you say to people who don't believe that voting matters? Because we've got a lot of, disheartened people. I mean, that's the reason why I think that people don't vote. They don't feel like their votes have a voice.
Honestly, I wasn't going to vote this year until I met you. Remember I told you? I was like, I'm voting.
You did, and I appreciate that. What I will say is they feel the same way I feel. Tired of being let down. Tired of giving our vote to these people, and they're promising, but not coming through with anything. Tired of giving our vote to people, and nothing's changing. People are tired.
Yeah.
And we can't blame them. But I when I win this seat, I am definitely going to create some type of campaign around voting, because voting is essential, and especially within our community. They dog us and drag us through the mud because we don't vote. They do anything they want to the Black community because we don't vote. And another thing is it is a smack in our ancestors' face. A lot of our ancestors died to vote, right?
Yes.
I'm also starting to learn about different things being ingrained in us at a cellular level. Like, I'll give you an example. You whoop your kids because they break a glass, when a glass only costs about 50 cents. But we have been trained all our lives, maybe not even trained. We just know as a Black community, you whoop your kid when they break a plate. And so I was talking to an elderly cousin about it, and she said that back in the day, plates and dishes were hard to come by. And so you whipped your kids so that they would take better care of that. Well, things are different now, but we still practice that, and so we practice that, not necessarily being taught, but it's just in us to do it. And so I'm saying that to say the same thing with voting. There was people shot in front of Black people that traumatized them just for voting. And it could have, at a cellular level, hindered them and stopped them from wanting to vote, because they see that people have lost their lives because of voting. So I'm starting to think, in addition to being heartbroken, disappointed, let down, that it's also ingrained in us at a cellular level too, the trauma that we've experienced that's associated with voting. But we have to realize that our vote, they killed us because of it, right?
Yeah.
So that means that it's effective. That means that it's significant. So I have so many ideas.
And you are conscious.
You definitely are. And like anything that leaves a negative trauma over time will affect you. I mean, when we talk about slavery and things of that nature on this show, those same traumas are still in us. Even from that time.
Exactly.
Jim Crow, all of those fears, all of those feelings, but you don't know. That's why when you learn about it and you overcome, you have to preach that. You have to continue that so that it becomes a habit.
Right, exactly.
So we can break that trauma.
Exactly. And that is definitely something that I want to do. I have so many ideas, because it's time to heal the Black community too. So I have so many ideas. To me, they're common sense. To other people, they will be innovative. But it's just something that needs to start.
We talked about you being a write-in candidate. And why is it so difficult dealing with the two big competitors? So right now, Ohio U.S. Senate, you got Tim Ryan, Democratic candidate, and you got J.D. Vance. And then I see that there's several write-in candidates like yourself. How come you guys don't get the same kind of advertising? How come they only push those two parties?
I believe it has to do with money and the backing. But that's doing everyone a disadvantage. You know what I mean? A disservice.
Correct.
It's intentionally set up that way. I was listening to President Obama's book, Promise, and he even brought it up in his book, how they intentionally, if you don't have the backing of the dominant political parties, they make it so hard for you to run and to win a race. Now, it's not impossible. It's just a lot harder to do. So I think that is something that absolutely needs to be changed. And I believe that with these changes that are coming, I think that it's going to make our government a true democracy. So I just think that with time, someone advocating, someone speaking up. I used to be upset about how I was sabotaged by the Democrats, but now I'm looking like this might have been a blessing in disguise, because now I'm not bound by those parties to have to do what they tell me to do. I can do my heart's work. I can do my heart's work now. Okay. And I think I'm going to remain an independent. I think I am. I'm almost sure of it. I couldn't imagine getting entangled in what sabotage, betrayed, what all of this.
Hand down. We can't see your beautiful
face. Okay. I talk and move.
She got
with
that
my
passion
hands.
right now. She's passionate.
But I just can't imagine being a part of. Of course, I'm gonna have to work with them. I have to work with everybody, so that's not a thing. But just becoming a part of that, unless there's Democrats like me, then I'll be okay. Republicans like me, and I know that there are some.
Right.
So I am looking forward to working with them.
Because you're a servant, you will be a servant of all the people.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
As an independent, you would be able to step in both shoes,
sides, yeah,
and you would take and pull what you needed and wanted.
Right, from both sides, yeah. Because believe it or not, there's Republicans who don't believe in mass incarceration. They don't believe in the death penalty, and they don't believe in qualified immunity. And I have active campaigns now going around the states, actually the nation, trying to get people to end the death penalty. They're holding forums, they're holding events, trying to encourage people to come together and end the death penalty, signing petitions to end qualified immunity. But if I would never have been sabotaged, I wouldn't know that. So that's a fact. I've been in those forums and those different events. It blows me away. So you got good and bad on both sides, period.
Right.
Period.
And politics is a tricky game, and it seems when there's a common sense, what we would deem common sense candidate, those aren't the ones that usually make it.
Not at all.
Because the money, the influence, that's why I've heard of you. But I've never heard you speak until today. I've seen your platform because on this show and me and my brothers, we do our homework. You black, white, whoever, we vote for, our vote goes to the best person for the job. And I definitely have confidence in, after meeting you and talking to you today, that anybody who would choose to vote for LaShondra Tinsley, that's a vote well spent for sure.
That's right. It's unfortunate. They say that you can run, you can win, money's not an issue, but that's all lies.
Yeah.
It's absolutely clear, especially with my experience in this run, that it's all a lie and both parties are in on it. The Democratic Party is in on it, and so is the Republican Party. They are both in on making it hard for an ordinary person to run for office. Although they say anybody can do it, no, they both intentionally prevent people from running for these seats.
So I'll ask you this last question. I got a couple more here. If you're voted into office, Capitol Hill is a big place. And, it seems that you have to kind of find yourself a group of like-minded individuals to make things happen. Because you still only cast one vote even when you're there.
Exactly. Absolutely.
How will you handle that?
Well, there's other like-minded people that are already there that I've checked out already. You got Elizabeth Warren, you got Bernie Sanders, you got Cory Booker. So you have people already there. They will show me the ropes. Who else that, we can trust and different things like that, and we can bring into. I've already named this God Squad.
Okay, all right then.
So when we get in there, when I get to, learn the ropes, I have a couple people that I'm going to reach out to be my advisor, who've already served in the role. And then hopefully, if God has orchestrated it the way that I think he has, which I'm not sure, there'll be other people coming in as well. I just think that they need some help. They're already there. They're already putting in the work. Bernie Sanders has been there for years.
Yeah.
Busting his butt, breaking. He just needs some help. He needs somebody. He needs more than who's there now. So I think his ideas are common sense. They're common sense. They're common sense.
Common sense.
Yeah.
But that sense ain't so common. What are you going to do?
That's a word. That part. That part.
Well,
Yeah.
write-in candidate LaShondra Tinsley in the building, everybody. Make sure you get out and vote. Write in. U.S. Senate. Okay.
So what they would have to do is so when you go to vote, it's J.D. Vance, it's Tim Ryan, and then it says write-in. They would have to select write-in and type in my name. If they don't know how to spell my name, they would ask the election workers for a list of write-in candidates. My name will be on that list. Sometimes the election worker doesn't know that there's a list, so just have them reach out to the manager of whatever location they're at, and they'll provide them with the list. My name will be on that list, and you use that list to type my name in.
Please go out and vote for LaShondra Tinsley.
Yes, please.
If you are in Ohio, U.S. Senate, November the 8th, but you can vote early.
Yes.
Go in, hit that button for that write-in candidate and vote for LaShondra Tinsley. You will not regret it. She's got my vote.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate
D.
that.
Lamar the Scholar. I'm Money Mac. I'm the champ. Yo, next U.S. Senator from Ohio, Miss LaShondra Tinsley. We out of here. Stay conscious.
Ohio, my name is LaShondra Tinsley, your independent write-in U.S. Senate candidate. So essentially what that means is when you go to vote, you'll select write-in, you'll type my name. If you're having any problems or issues, whatever voting location you're at, you'll reach out to the elections worker. Ask them for a list of write-in candidates. My name will be on that list, and you'll type it in. If for any reason you have any issues, you can pull out your phone. A lot of people don't think that you can use your phone when you're voting. Yes, you can. You can use your phone. Hopefully you're following me and you'll have my name right there at your disposal. Again, my name is LaShondra Tinsley. I hope to earn your vote and your support this November 8th, 2022.